What's going on, guys? KonDcnT here, and I'm gonna apologize again in advance. The negativity train is not reached the station yet. It's still going, so I'm sorry, but I gotta get it off my chest. It's been bothering me for a while, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. I've tried to be optimistic and patient and give the benefit of the doubt, but it just seems like it's all done in vain. So anyway, I did a video earlier about my gripes and grievances with teammates and just the frustration that I'm having at this current stage of Infinite Warfare. And you know, the teammates can only be responsible to some degree. I mean, you know, and I'm not the greatest player in the world, but I try to play the objective. I do practice, and you know, if I make a bad play or my aim's terrible, I'll be the first to admit it. But there are some broken mechanics in this game that have not been addressed, and it's been 2 months. They should have been fixed in the first week. I mean, these are easy fixes, I would think, and the fact that they haven't been fixed, that concerns me even more. And you can just see I rage quit. I've had it. This next game mode is no different, or this next match is actually no different either. But some big complaints: the servers, connections. I don't know what you blame it on, but they don't feel right. There's a lot of lag comp. There's a lot of latency. I have really good internet for the amount of money I pay. Like, I should have really good internet, and it seems like the connections are just terrible in this game. 10% of the time, 15 maybe, I will get a decent lobby where things run smooth, but it seems like lately it's terrible. It's garbage. Maybe it's because the only people I really get, you know, in a match with are in Canada and South America. Maybe there's not a lot of US players playing, who knows. But that still shouldn't affect my connection. I mean, my server should be connected to the States, and you know, it shouldn't be as bad as it is. That's what I'm trying to say. The weapon balance, it could be connection based, but it feels like, I mean, there's definitely tiers of weapons that are better in any situation than the others. And I don't want to nerf. I hate nerfing. I've said that in previous videos. I'm not a fan of nerfing, but we need to bring. There's so many factors in this game, I guess, that need to be calculated. The MV4, you know, it's a good weapon. It's probably the most popular weapon in the game. It's the easiest to use. I feel like it's a low risk, high reward. I feel like all the ARs. Yeah, all the ARs are basically high risk, low risk, high reward situations. So, exclusive ace. If you guys are on this video, you definitely know who he is. You've definitely searched Infinite Warfare, but you know, he posed a solution by changing the sprint out times for each weapon to make them a little similar to Black Ops 3. To give you a sense of balance, because all the sprint out times are the same across the board. Your pistols and your SMGs and your LMGs and your assault rifles, they all have the same sprint out time. So if you look at it in this stage, why would you use anything but an AR? Even in core mode, I mean, core is the big one, but in hardcore you can even see it further. There's no reason to use anything but the NV4. And you know, people are branching out a little bit using ARs now that there's different nuclear variants, but it's, you know, I mean, it's still ARs. I mean, there is little risk in using an AR. You can run around the map, and normally you can see the Johnny Tryhard pub stomping setup. It's the Synaptic with the Afterburner, or whichever one that gives you propulsion, I guess that's it. Run and rewind with an NV4 Fallout or a K-Bar nuclear variant. And they just bounce around the map. It's low risk, high reward. It's really frustrating. It feels like there's no reason to use anything but an AR. And I wouldn't notice this if, I wasn't doing camo challenges. I like ARs. I'm more of an AR player. That's awesome. But, the recent installments of Call of Duty, I've been trying to get more well-rounded. And just through the diamond camo challenges I've done, I can tell you there is a huge disadvantage if you're using something other than an AR. I mean, it is what it is. The hit detection, they say Infinity Ward has the best hit detection out of all the studios. I'm waiting to see it because I haven't. It must be good for my opponents because it seems like I'm getting insta melted. But yeah, I'm still waiting on it. The next big gripe I have is the spawns. They're terrible. TDM spawns, or I don't understand how I got through testing. Domination, they are god awful. I don't know what kind of spawn system they're using. It feels like a hybrid, like a revenge spawn mixed with like kind of a traditional like domination spawn. But when you mix them, it doesn't really go well. You get spawned in front of the guy that killed you. I've gotten spawned into people firing, and I use the perception perk. I'll get spawned into a yellow screen. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to take 2 steps only to get melted. Exclusive Ace, I referred to him. He seems like the only one that's actually putting some kind of logic into explaining the game. He's doing his own testing and he's trying to give us some answers. Normally Marvel comes out with the weapon stats, but it seems like they're taking a little longer than usual. And we all know Infinity Ward's not going to release any of that information whatsoever. So, he's basically said that, with the spawns, I mean, if you sit back and think about it, they're justified, but barely. With this game so fast paced and so upbeat, as people have stated, your natural instinct is to move forward. So when you spawn in, you're gonna hit the forward. You're gonna move your stick forward, and by doing that, you're automatically penalized. So let's put this into some kind of perspective. Say you get into a gunfight. Say you have the upper hand, you're at a head glitch, or you're at higher ground. You should win that gunfight. Your shots don't register. The guy melts you. Okay. So then you spawn in to where that guy is running, his path in front of him, but you're facing the other way. You realize where you are, you turn around because you don't want to get shot in the back, and then he melts you again. Still going along his path, they put you in front of him one more time. These are the kind of things I run into on a regular basis with this game. It's in domination. It feels like it's really easy, especially this map, to spawn trap. It seems like the threshold, to when the other team goes too far to flip the spawns, is very forgiving. Just the overall map design. I mean, it's putting you at a disadvantage coming out of the gates. I mean, there's no symmetry to the maps. I mean, I guess you could say frontline symmetrical, but that map's so small and it's so chaotic. I mean, symmetry doesn't really do anything for that map. In TDM, I've been on bigger maps, like the larger ones. What is it? Mayday. That's a huge map. I mean, considering like the ones in here. Or what's the other one? The big long dirt map on Mars. I can't remember the name. But in Team Deathmatch, you get killed and you get spawned with your team. Usually into gunfire, or with an enemy behind you, or in an area where they can attack you at 3 different ways. It's not a safe spawn. Everybody's on one side of the map. They could have spawned you away from all that, so you have to take your walk of shame, recollect, and get back into the fight. It doesn't feel like any thought was put into these spawns. Maybe it was too much thought. I don't know. I'm not a developer, I'm just a gamer. What can I say? the next big thing, the game just feels unfinished. We all know it's unfinished. I feel like it was a scrambled attempt. I think they had a game in mind. They were close to finishing it, and they scrapped the project and gave us this. It's like a copy paste down scaled version of Black Ops 3. We've talked about the rigs. There's no personality on the rigs. I mean, even when you're looking at your weapons, you can't 360 spin your weapons. You can do that in Modern Warfare Remastered. Most first-person shooter games nowadays, you get the 360. This one, you can only do 3/4 spins. I mean, it's just a little nuances like that. The mute all button, or the mute all except people in my party option. Where is that? That should have been out after the first month. It should have been out after the first week. It should have shipped with the game. We don't have that. Leaderboards, I'm not even going to talk about leaderboards because I don't know how many people are playing. Also, with all the broken stuff going on, whatever stats you have, I mean, it's just showing you're the benefactor on a broken game, and the game's kind of worked in your favor. I don't think there's a depiction of skill on a lot of these games. There's a lot of, if you party up, you automatically have the advantage. But people are saying skill-based matchmaking. I don't know. Based on that, all the lobbies I get into, I should have a 5 KD. Because I get on Team Potato, and it was kind of like that in the beginning of Advanced Warfare. That's why my clan tag was Derp, because it seems like I always got put on the team of the guys that didn't know what they were doing. How things have changed, right? The camo challenges. I mean, I'm doing them, and by doing them, I've realized that the imbalance on the weapons. If you're using anything but an AR, you're at a disadvantage. The headshots on snipers, I mean, that's fine. It's a little obsessive, but that's fine. But you should never get a hit marker on a headshot with a sniper, which I keep running into. That should never happen. Even when you're dead on, some headshots don't register. It seems like with Synaptic, you'll get a headshot and you're in the area, but the hitbox is different for that, and everybody runs it. So, you're just basically a glutton for punishment. The graphics, I mean, I've said it before, they look like a step down. I mean, it looks very uninspired. The maps, poor design. I hate to harp on this game, but I mean, everybody's done it when it came out. I've given it 2 months, and I haven't seen any changes. Apparently an update was supposed to come out this week, but what are they going to update? I mean, they just banned everybody, and that's the other thing. I mean, it shows you where their priorities are. So there was a glitch with crypto keys, cheating, whatever. That's wrong. I didn't do it. I heard about it. I have no intentions on doing that. I'd rather, just get the variants. I'm not spending money for crypto keys or supply drops. I'm just going to play the game and grind it out, whatever. But they banned a shit ton of people, and that was their big concern. It had nothing to do with maybe our game is broken and we need to work on our netcode, or we need to work on weapon balancing and matchup balancing, and just the overall feel of the game, polishing it up a bit. Like I said, put a mute all button in there. I don't know how many times I'll get into a lobby, I'll mute somebody, and then next thing you know, before the game starts, it's basically somebody on their headphones. They don't mute their mic, and I get to hear little junior son of a bitch in the background screaming and crying. So not only do I get to hear about, I get to hear that, but now I get to witness somebody being a bad parent. It's I'm sorry. I am being really negative, but I got to get off my chest. This video went longer than I wanted. You guys put a like or dislike, whatever. Leave your comments. I'm KonDcnT. I'm out. Peace.